Hello again. This is ENCA DSTV 403. Thank you for joining us on this Monday afternoon. Now, in this hour of today, we've been focusing on what's been happening post the fire that has destroyed the main assembly there in Parliament buildings and a number of other areas. Now, the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union says it wants answers following this blaze that broke out early Sunday morning in Parliament. Nehawu says when it received the word of the fire, it immediately contacted its members to find out if they were safe. To its surprise, the members were not at work, because they had been told, allegedly, by management not to work on public holidays and weekends because of budgetary constraints in terms of overtime and the public holiday rates. Well, to clarify this, I'm joined by Themba Kupula, who is the branch secretary of Nehawu in Parliament. Mr. Kupula, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. You've come to us now. We're talking to you now just after that briefing we saw in Parliament by a number of officials, including the Speaker of Parliament, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, and the Minister of Public Works, Patricia de Lille, among others. In responding to this Nehawu statement that has come out, I'm sure you've heard it yourself. Basically, the Speaker saying they were surprised by Nehawu's statement. How do you react to it? Do you stand by your statement?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Praden, and good afternoon to your viewers. We firstly, as Nehawu, we want to excuse the Speaker. And we understand that she just joined Parliament, so she doesn't understand the kind of management that she has under her stewardship. So we understand why she says Nehawu's statement is not correct, because the management she has fed her lies. It's something they've been doing all these years. So the Speaker is excused. But
hold on. Are you saying that it has happened before, that during the festive season, your members have been told not to work extra hours because of budgetary constraints in terms of the public holiday rates? It's not the first time that has happened?
No. What we are saying is that the Speaker, her saying that what the union was saying in the media interviews yesterday is incorrect. According to the report she got from management, she is excused because she doesn't understand the kind of management she's dealing with, that it's management that always hides the truth. Now, the truth then is that for all the years, security personnel in Parliament has always worked during December holidays, weekends and the public holidays included. And it has never been an issue, this issue of budgetary constraints because of overtime. It's a small amount of money that they were told not to work for. So it was for the first time this year that our members were told that on weekends and public holidays, they are not going to work. We stand by that statement, Braden, because we've got evidence, we've got documentary evidence to that effect. We've got shift allocation of our members who were working over December. None of them, according to the shift allocation roster, were on duty on the 16th, on the 25th, on the 26th, on the 1st, as well as the 2nd, which was on a Sunday, the day what the Minister of Public Works called the fateful evening, the fateful day. So we stand by our statement as the union. None of our members were working on the public holidays and on weekends because they were told by Parliament that Parliament does not have money to pay them overtime for working on public holidays as well as weekends.
Couple of things you've mentioned there, Mr. Kupula, that are coming up that I just need to follow up on. Just to clarify, you've said it twice, or if not more time, that you stand by your statement. You've got evidence, you've said, you've got documentary evidence that will contradict what the Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, has just said a short while ago.
Precisely, Praden. And when I started, I said the Speaker is forgiven for believing management over the union because she's just joined Parliament.
Why would management lie to the Speaker, according to what you are saying? They have not been truthful, which means they've been lying.
It's precisely, Praden, because they want to cover their backs. This is what they've been doing. They've been accustomed to this kind of self-serving attitude and practice. So it's just unfortunate that they are putting the new Speaker of National Assembly to such a shame for the Speaker to come on TV and say what the union is saying is far from the truth, when there is evidence on the side of the union to prove that our members were not scheduled to work on these public holidays and weekends, primarily because of the so-called excuse of overtime.
Yeah, while you must have been relieved that in one way none of your members were in harm's way during the fire, you must have been very disturbed to realize that a national key point was left unprotected.
Yes, of course, we were relieved that there were no fatalities. There was no one that was injured during this fire. But for us as the union, we've been saying Parliament is a national key point, and this is a national key point where compliance with the health and safety regulations has been found wanting. Reports after reports have been issued pointing out to the current acting secretary to Parliament that the precinct that you oversee is not complying with the health and safety regulations. Do something about it. And there's a report of 2018 by an independent audit company that was commissioned to check compliance with health and safety regulations of the precinct of Parliament. That report is damning on Parliament. That company investigated 13 areas of health and safety compliance. And all the 13 areas that company investigated, 11 of those areas were high risk exposure that Parliament was not complying with. Only 2 were medium exposure that Parliament was not complying with. So all the 13 Parliament was complying with, but the 2 were at least medium risk exposure, but the 13 were in the red. The 11 rather, they were in the lead.
There's a lot. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of questions, Mr. Kupula, in terms of risk management and fire thing. We'll have to wait and see, because your branch is going to have to be engaged with as well as a key stakeholder in Parliament after the fire. We'll have to leave it there for now. You stand by your statement. Of course, that management did ask your members not to come to work due to budgetary constraints over the weekend and during this festive season. And that's what happened when the fire happened. They were not on site. But the Speaker says management is talking otherwise, and you are saying that they are lying. We're going to have to really find out what's going to happen now. Thanks for your time for now. Themba Kupula, the Branch Secretary of Nehawu, Trade Union Nehawu in Parliament.